Hi there, it's Nicole for Lawn Fawn, and today I have a card featuring the new Let's Bokeh stamp set. There's also coordinating dies, but I chose to do a one-layer card here, so no dies were necessary. I'm using one of the new Simon Says Stamp top fold scored note cards. This is an A2 sized card, so it'll be 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches when it's folded there. And I'm going to start with the Lawn Fawn Noble Fur ink. I'm going to ink the circle there up using the Noble Fur ink, and I'm going to stamp it off a couple times on a scrap piece of paper just to make sure I get good coverage. A lot of times when you're using new stamps, you need to stamp it a time or two just so that it inks up really nice. In addition to stamping the first generation little bokeh dots like you see here, I'm also going to use second generation, like that second polka dot there. So it's going to give the illusion of two different colors of ink. It's going to be that nice, really dark green ink, and then the lighter version, which is the second generation, where you don't clean off your stamp and go ahead and stamp it again after you stamped it the first time, and that gives it a lighter appearance and look. I'm also using the Delicata Golden Glitz ink. I love the combination of green and gold for holiday cards. I'm using a scrubber pad there to the left of the screen to clean my stamps. Makes it easy to change the ink color. Plus it cleans the stamps off really well as I'm working with this. Now there are quite a few different sizes of polka dots, or solid circle shapes, I guess I should say, in the Let's Bokeh stamp set, and I'm going to use most of them. I'm using the solid images. There are also outline images, which would be fun to use as well. I'm going to continue to fill in my background, and this would work for lots of different color combinations. I'm making a more holiday-ish type card today, but you could change up the colors and create all kinds of really amazing bokeh backgrounds just with different color combinations, maybe a fun birthday card, any sort of celebration card. These work for anything. I think in some pastel colors, this would make an awesome baby card. Just lots of different things. Before I get too much further, I am going to ink up the word cheers from the Let's Bokeh stamp set and stamp that with the black licorice Lawn Fawn ink. Then I'm going to take an additional phrase from the same stamp set that says to you and yours and stamp that right below the cheers to finish off my greeting. While I don't mind that the loop in the H goes over the stamped gold circle, I don't want too many of those bokeh dots behind the greeting. I think it makes the greeting stand out a little bit more if there isn't a lot going on behind it. So that's why once I got to this point, I went ahead and stamped the greeting before I finish with my bokeh dots. There's even this great little teeny tiny one here that I'm going to fill in. Grab the second smallest one. Some of the images, I don't even bother stamping it the first generation. I stamp that off on a scrap piece of paper and then just use the second generation. Filling in some of those teeny tiny circles with the golden glitz. I love this golden glitz ink. I think there's also a great silver. So if you prefer the look of silver over gold, it would be pretty as well. Go ahead and finish off the bottom of my card here. Here's another example of stamping off the first generation on the scrap paper and then using the second generation rather on my card. I like to stamp off some of the images off the edge of the card. This grounds the whole design so it doesn't appear that all the circles are just floating in the center of the card. You want to make sure that some of those circles are stamped halfway off or partially off the sides of the card. It really does help make the whole look of the background look nice and grounded. I'm going to add one more large image down there. With the scrubber pad, I like to use the Ultra Clean. I just spritz that on there and then rub the stamp a few times and it cleans it wonderfully. I'm going to add just a little bit more, or one or two more images here, and that will finish up the design. I did add some pretty Pink Posh confetti and sequins in gold, and then rounded the corners. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Let's Bokeh stamp set. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.